Well, I love whitetails, whitetail hunting. It's my passion. And Texas is to eat up with them. They've got a bunch of stuff you can hunt here, which is cool. You can turn an arrow loose 5 times in a day if you've got the money. But they've got a ton of good whitetails here, and I love it. This is one of the 5 states I've always wanted to come to. Illinois is another one. I hit that one this year, had an absolute blast there. And we're hoping to close out the season with a bang here in Texas. Well, this Texas style of hunting is more like the North Carolina style of hunting that I'm used to. You put out a ton of corn, they come to it, you pick a big one and you shoot them. Well, they do this all year for everything. They've got feeders. You can't ride down the road without seeing 10 feeders in stands everywhere. It's a blast because you know you don't have to think where they're going to go to. You know where they're going to. You may see them 60, 80 yards out in the woods or something. Well, just give it a minute because they're coming to the corn. That's what they do. That's what they live for here. Well, over the phone, I talked to the outfitter and he told me that they wanted us to shoot this mature 10-pointer and that he had a tag in his ear. So coming out here to Texas, you know you're going to see a ton of bucks. Well, they're coming out to that feeder, and we have to particularly wait on this one deer. We don't want to shoot one of their young up-and-comers. So sitting in the blind, seeing all these 8s and whatever come out, and 10s, young deer, waiting on this one deer is a little bit frustrating, but you know, it's why they have good deer here, because they're managing it. They want you to kill the mature deer and not one of their young deer. So watching these bucks funnel out, waiting on the one with a tag in his ear, it was fun, but it was frustrating. Well, the first night this deer came out, I started looking at his rack, which you should never do. And I started shaking, and I was trying to tell myself he's not as big as he is. And I ranged him a few times trying to calm down because I didn't have a shot on him anyway. And he never did present a shot that night, but I was still tore up. Even after he walked back in the woods, I was still shaking thinking about him, because you see a bunch of 120-inch 8-pointers, 110-inch 8-pointers, and then this thing walks out and he's 150 to 160-inch 10, and it's night and day. You know, your heart starts racing. It's why you do this. So the last day of the hunt, the last couple of hours of the hunt, he comes out. You got to make it all happen. Hope he doesn't get away again. Talk about nerves and pressure all wrapped up in one. It was awesome, and it sucked all at the same time, having to make it happen. But I'm like, oh my God, there's 2 hours left in this hunt. Last night of a 3-day hunt, 2 hours left, and the deer we want shows up. And he looks a lot calmer than he did the first night. There's already 3 other 8s in the corn, does. I'm thinking this is going to be the night. He looks chilled out. He starts feeding as soon as he comes out of the woods. The problem is he goes directly behind the feeder and starts feeding. I don't know if he knows it's blocking me or not, but what he doesn't know is I cut a hole in the bottom of that feeder and got the brush out of the way just for him. And lo and behold, he messed up and stepped right into it. Just whacked it. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's a deer we've been waiting on for 3 days. Yes. Well, we just went and looked behind the feeder where I shot him, and there's very little blood. We looked at the film, and he actually started turning big time. He didn't drop, but he turned big time right before the arrow hit him. He heard it go off inside that blind. I'm thinking it might have hit the opposite shoulder, but with there being very little blood, we're just gonna let him lay for a while. I'm not gonna try to push him or anything. He took off. He did what I call the death run. He was down low, taking off hard. I really think he's down there dead right now. But without an exit and no killer blood trail, and I don't want to push him, he's too beautiful an animal, we're just gonna let him sit. check him out. Oh my God. He is freaking beautiful. Oh, wow. That is a gorgeous deer. Oh God, I love the way his rack goes out like that. That is one beautiful buck with a sticker on the brow. That is freaking awesome. That's what I came to Texas for.